You're very pretty, so of course I wanna talk to you.
Oh my god, girl, same. No worries. I love my hot comic girlfriends. So
Very much same, very much same. Okay, so tell me, you just got back. We've been doing a lot of cons.
yeah, a lot. I usually do though. So
Yeah. Where have you been lately?
my recent one was MomoCon, and then I think a couple weeks back I had done, oh my god, I think I was in Dublin and I was just in Japan. I think it was Japan most recently, so it was jumping around. But I think with all that travel, you have to remember to take care of yourself and sleep, and sometimes I don't.
I heard you stay up till 3 AM working on commission, so your clients better appreciate you for that.
I think most of them do. I had a rascal today, so you get some of those sometimes. It is difficult to manage the commissions with like doing covers and getting shipping. Shipping takes a long time too because I don't want you guys to get stuff that's super bent, vice versa. Like I want you guys to get your stuff in good condition. So, my friend said me or my friend told me something, and if you're watching this, you know who you are. But he told me something 2 days ago, and he was like, "You are one person, Sukesha, and don't ever forget that, and don't feel bad, about things if they don't go the way you want. Like, I know you're doing the best that you can. And I truly am. So I'm
Yeah.
just the best that I can. Yeah.
Your stories are very transparent too. I feel like you're very upfront with your people about it.
Mhm.
I think that's like really sweet. I don't know. You are very personable in the way that you interact, just even in your stories of giving people a heads up. I feel like you're probably pretty realistic with how you set expectations on commissions. People are just excited to see your work, I guess.
So I'd hope so. Thanks, Evan. Yeah. I think so. Mhm.
But for sure, your rests and your boundaries are more important.
Oh, I learn it as I get older, like, my body just isn't like that crazy 20-year-old that used to stay up literally all night. I was insane when I was, like, in my 20s, and I would stay up all night during a con, and I would finish those pieces, but I'm like, "It's just not worth it on my body," and then the clients, I wanna take more time now on the pieces, so, like, you just learn a lot when you get older, I want them to have the best quality stuff, so
Yeah, 100%, and that's wild to me, you were staying up all night. I know we met at C2E2,
Mhm.
and there were a
Yep.
lot of meetups. I saw people, like, going out afterwards and coming back the next day, and I'm like, "I got a 3-day pass. I don't know how y'all got 3-day passes. You're going out."
You know what? My friends like, sometimes I'll go out and have a good time with my friends occasionally, but if sometimes it's a busy show, I'll do, like, a stream afterwards, and then I'm like, "Guys, I'm out. I gotta go to sleep." It's so hard on the body, especially if you're, like now, if you have people doing it for you, like, that's fine. Go out,
Mm.
please, if you have different people rotating your booth, it's fine, but when you're, like, the main person who is managing, being like, "Welcome to my booth," you know, it's hard, it's a lot of energy, so, I mean, I love my friends, and I love getting invited out, but sometimes I just feel sleepy, I wanna go to bed. I wanna be free. So, it's
I
hard.
think we're at an age now where people understand the need for that, so I totally get it. Your mom goes with you though, doesn't she?
Wanda does, my dad used to, and he is known as everyone's favorite grumpy, cute little Indian man. My dad best. Oh my god. He used to come a lot with me, but, like, he doesn't really know too much, like, it's more like he doesn't really know the fandoms as much, and he's just not the best salesperson, but he's always my number 1 supporter. So, I know fans of my dad, he'll come occasionally, but it's more my mom because she does know a little bit more about the fandoms that I'm selling, and she's also one of my hype girls, so you'll definitely see
Yeah.
Wanda.
That's so sweet. With your
Mhm.
dad too,
Yeah.
some of your covers are spicy.
It's funny be it's so funny that you say that, Heaven. I started out with, definitely female-oriented covers, right, and early in my career, and I know, like, in my years of looking back and this is, like, even before I got DC, I did, like, some more, like, very, like, tastefully sexy covers, and, like, I still love drawing the female figure, I think it's gorgeous, I think you can learn a lot from it. But as I now transition to an era where I'm, like, now working with, like, Disney, and, um, I have toned it back a bit. I appreciate the female figure, though, for what it is because it is gorgeous, we cannot deny it, right?
Right. I
But
mean, there's a reason why that's the probably most drawn, like, thing out there for sure.
I think
And I collect, I've sent you some of my spicy covers, so you already know. I appreciate them too.
Of course. And people know me for, like, I have a gorgeous, like, the witch blade with her gorgeous, like, booty and, like, I love that, and I'm so grateful to be able to do those covers, and I love them. But at the same time, I think, like, showing a diversity of what I can do, I'm finding myself transition and maybe growing as, like, an art to push myself to do different things, but I do love the spices. I always love the hot girl covers. You can't go wrong, and you will love my coming out soon. No one heard that. So, yeah.
Do I need to bleep that out?
Yeah, bleep it.
I'll bleep it out. I'll bleep it out. But I want to be on that list. So you let me know when I can place
Mhm.
my order.
Yes, girl, thank you so much. Awesome, you guys. Follow her. So good.
You're so sweet. No, but also like you transitioning with your covers too, that opens up, you to new fans as well. Cause some
Thank
people don't collect the covers that are slightly, even though like I agree, like your work was very tasteful regardless.
you.
Some people just, they don't really prefer that. I
Mhm.
bought a mixture, right? Like I walked
Yeah,
away with your Vampirella cover, your Harley and Elvira, but I also got your Lion King cover. So
yeah.
variety.
Yes. I love those. I know, I was so excited to see you at C2E2. It was such a pleasure. Um, I feel like I met you at Mega though, but maybe the shows are just meshing and merging together.
I think so. I think you have
They're
cover
merging.
brain.
Yeah, I definitely have copyright. But regardless, I remember the interaction. I loved meeting you, and I'm so grateful to be on your podcast. So, yeah.
Oh, thank you. No, I felt the same way because I remember I was looking for a very specific booth. I was looking for that C2E2 Wonder Woman Sozo Micah cover, the exclusive.
Oh, yes.
But I
No.
was looking for that cover, and I
Mhm.
remember and the numbers were really confusing for me for some reason. And I
Yeah.
walked past you and I made eye contact with you, and then I was like, "Wait, hold up, turn back around, go back to her." Like, so I just felt like I needed to come talk to you. So,
Thanks,
and I'm
girl.
glad I did.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
So tell me, I want to hear a little bit about you and I guess maybe like some of your experiences with the cons. Like do you have like a favorite con you've been to or a place where you just had like a really unique interaction?
I feel like in terms of cons, the 2 that stick out to me the most are San Diego. You cannot go wrong with San Diego, New York. My god, like, if you go to those, if anyone I'm sure a lot of my people have, but it's almost like you're in, like, a miniature city. It's insane. Like, those 2 cons, it just doesn't even feel like a con. It feels like you're in a little city, and the exclusives that they drop are insane. Like, I remember they did, like, SpongeBob Crocs that were only gonna be there at that show. I'm big like, oh my goodness. But then Tokyo Comic Con was also unreal because, it's in another country and you have the fans that are international and you see how big the comic world has spread all over the world. Like we had Jim Lee there, Peach Momoko, of course, like because she is from Japan. Johnny Depp was there last year. I mean, we had Frank Miller, Starlin, some of the greats. Um, it was just cool to see, and just being in Japan was like an unreal experience, I think, in that sense. So, yeah.
Right. That's cool. That's really beautiful. Japan's high on my list, and so I would like to wait till maybe a con season, but I just know travel's going to be more because everyone's going to want to go, but that's okay. We'll make it work.
I mean, okay, to be fair, like, just give it a little bit just because of the times right now. I booked my flight last year. It was not that expensive. It was, like, literally half of what I expected, so it was not an arm and a leg. It was fine. So just a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take your
Yeah.
word for it, and I'll
Awesome.
also put you on there. I'll let them know that you should be on their tourism board because I think that was a good sell. It's affordable. Okay, I'm sold.
Oh, that's awesome.
Um, no, that's really cool that you're traveling so much though, because the international stuff, like, did you ever see that happening for you? And like, I guess, how did you get into doing covers in general?
If anyone, like, has really followed me from, like, oh my god, in my 20s, I did, like, a lot of graffiti work, like, see some of my murals in Miami. So I, like, started that way, and I didn't think that I would do it until, like, I started getting just some retailers noticing my work, and then they were like, "Hey, you would be cool for this title, you'd be cool for this title," and I was like, "Oh, I have no idea what this means, but okay, I'll be on the front of a book." Like, I really didn't know what it meant in my early days, and I was like, "I'll do it." But from there, it just kind of leads sort of like a waterfall. It's like a waterfall effect where, like, you do a cover for this person, someone sees it, and I'm grateful for, like, more the, amount of, how do you say it, public eyes that have seen my work at this point, like, and just Like, I find people, like, know me, and I'd never seen these people before, like, especially in the retailer space, and, like, I never thought I really never had this vision for myself, but I've always loved comics. So I'm like, I've always had a bigger dream for it, and I'm just glad it's manifesting this way. So that's
Okay.
yeah.
So you were discovered.
I was discovered at Comic Cons too, and I think that's the way a lot of us get discovered too. Um, and like I said, I just didn't know a lot about this world and what it could bring, and now I'm in it and I'm so passionate. And I mean, I've always loved to read comics and mangas and stuff, but I was just like, how can I be in this world? Like, I read the old Sonic comics and the old DCs and stuff, and I'm like, I wonder how I can get in this. And I guess I don't know, it just kind of came about.
Like,
Mhm.
this other thing came along because you were doing what you were driven to do, and that's really cool, like,
Yeah,
it's not like that for a lot of people. I think we have a hard time following our purpose,
yeah.
but you went for it, and that's awesome.
And there's so many people always think that it's so like, I had someone the other day who was like, "Oh, you're so like," they always use the privilege, it's so easy to do this. And there are things now that I look back and I'm like, I mean, now I feel like things are definitely they're cohesive, better than they were in the past, but I really did struggle so much that people like just don't understand like how much I have worked and struggled. Like when in the beginning of my career, I used to drive 20 hours out to LA. I drove 20 hours back after doing a whole con, and it would just be me. It would just be me. Yeah. I would just do it myself. I would stay in like horrible hotels, like in my very early career. Like we're talking like a circa decade ago, right? I there was one time where there was a hotel where someone shot someone next door. I was like,
While you were in it?
exactly, I was in the room and somebody shot somebody next door. People will never understand how much I put myself, like, also at risk. Like, obviously, don't do that. Like, don't I would not do that, but I put myself out there because I was like, I want everyone to see what I can do because I know I can do it.
Yeah, you were hustling.
I was a really crazy hustler, so people don't understand.
Yeah. I'm doing my best not to, like, react to what you just shared because that was very jarring. That's again,
Yeah,
the types of places that maybe you had to stay, where you
save
weren't
money.
able to put safety as a priority and you just had to, like, focus on cost instead.
Right.
Um, yeah,
Absolutely.
that's really scary. So, I mean, I don't know, whatever anyone says, they can't say you didn't earn your struggling artist badge of honor or whatever. I don't know why people
I
wanna
really
see people struggle so much.
I'm older and I have a lot to tell and a lot of stories. They make for good stories as that's what I can take away. So,
Yeah, that's very true. So, no, that's good. You have the right attitude about it. So at this point now, how many hours do you think you're spending working on let's just do covers alone. How much time do you think you're spending on covers?
covers are a lot right now, which is what I wished for and I prayed for it. I really did. A lot. If I'm just not doing even commissions, I'm doing covers. So I'm trying to manage and navigate this new transition in my life because it started circa like when I first got with DC in like late 23, 24. And then when that happened, everything just sort of boop, 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 like it's sort of like the waterfall effect. So a lot of time. So that's why people are always like, let's hang out. And I'm like, I got some stuff. But I really think that I just need to manage it better. I'm grateful for the work because that's what I asked for. I wanted this. This is something I prayed for. So it's just, and I talked to an associate today, is a good friend of mine, and he's like, let's get you to a level where we can make sure you also have a life when you're doing this because I am spending a lot of time on everything. It's a lot. So yeah, but I'm grateful for the work. Seriously, I really am. It's good to be a busy artist. So
Yeah.
my friends and the people that help me and my agent and, just, even someone who might represent me in terms of CGC, like, there's a possibility there, but it's, I'm just working my way through. So,
Right. But before you were a comic book artist, you or a cover artist, you were a comic book fan. So is there like one particular comic that stands out to you as like your favorite?
um, honestly, I loved the old Sonic comics started me because I was a huge Sonic fan, right? I'm honestly for the comics, it was more Sonic, but I watched all of the old Batman series, like the Teen Titans was one of my favorite shows, Young Justice.
Same.
Oh my god, I was obsessed, Young Justice, Teen Titans. I would peep some of the comics, but I don't think I got really too into it until I started going to Comic Cons and getting more educated about it. So,
Okay.
yeah, but I was so into the shows, I would watch, like, all the shows. So
They actually bothered me because they weren't real, and I was like, "But how do I join this club? Like,
oh,
how do I
oh,
become them?" But now we can cosplay, right? So we kinda are, and,
yeah,
I think, like,
sure.
if you read one and you love it, like, you're in the club. You don't have to there's, like, not a high barrier to entry. I think that they're very
Yep.
accessible.
Yeah, and I think the creators are also just, like, super excited about people who want to keep the fandom alive, like, if you show up to, like, my god, I'm sure Frank Miller, any of these guys, if you showed up dressing as one of their characters that they've done on, like, covers and stuff, like, I think that they would be more than ecstatic to see it, and I mean, I get really ecstatic even if you dress up as any character. Raven, I feel like you kill a Raven, uh, Starfire. Yeah.
Did you do Raven? I feel like I saw you in a Raven. Did you?
You know what? It's funny, I don't cosplay. I mean, I kind of just like easy promo for like just the comics. Cause you'll see like I dress up sometimes just for the promos for the covers.
Okay.
I just feel bad calling myself I just couldn't as a cosplayer because I actually have friends that do that like full time who build their cosplays from scratch. And I'm like, honestly, I just kind of like to dress up just to promote it. Like I would never even call myself because I just have friends who do it at such a high caliber. Like a good name is Tiffany Gordon and some of my other friends who are just so high caliber and they put as much time as I would put into a cover, they put into cosplay. So I just like to dress up for fun, so I would not count me as a cosplayer, but I think it's fun to do, and I think it's just fun to put your interpretation to the character, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so fun.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%.
Mhm.
I did the, probably worst absolute Zatanna at C2E2 because I I didn't plan in advance, and I didn't, because I really, like I just kept telling myself, "You don't have time to cosplay, you're not gonna cosplay," like, months in advance.
Didn't I see you as the Katana?
It was not a good one, so you probably wouldn't have even recognized it, but I did talk to you that day, and I actually when I spoke to David Nakayama, I was like, "I was gonna do better, I'm sorry, she's very slouchy," and he goes, "No, it's a variant, it's okay." I was like, "Thank you." So, David Nakayama called me a variant. Like, just the level of effort, it does vary, and I agree, like, you can cosplay, but maybe you don't feel comfortable calling yourself a cosplayer because you're not built and I can't sew, and the things people build are just amazing.
I wish I had those skills. I got, like, a D in sewing, like, in high school. I got a D, a straight D, not my thing, so
That's funny. Was that the gimme class where everyone gets an A for pretty much showing up?
probably. That's how bad
Yes.
it is.
So my school, everyone got an A, but I got a B in that class, and so I'm very surprised you got a D. That's wild. They must have been grading harder.
Know what happened. It just wasn't my forte though. That and, like, just right, sewing specifically though, I'm like, I was definitely born for one thing, but another thing, definitely not.
When they were putting the recipe together, they were like, "She doesn't need that. She has so much else going on right now."
It's funny because there was a quote where you don't wanna be the jack of all trades and master of none though, and that's such a real thing. You can't just do everything, and even with my music, I'm struggling just a little because at least my team in Belgium is, like, working on that behind the scenes, so I can, leave it to them because I did all my recordings, but, like, damn, it's so hard. I'm literally drinking wine right now. It's yeah, hard,
Can't
but
drink wine with you because I have to remember to press the button. Which did I? Yeah, I did. Okay. Oh my gosh. But I will say, like, when I say that this girl's got a lot going on, I'm talking about you're doing music, you're doing covers, you're doing commissions, you're traveling a lot. You don't really seem to have a ton of downtime, but
I
it
don't
seems to be paying off for you. And I'm sure that the music is something that you still really want to invest in, but I think it'll happen for you.
haven't.
I don't know how, that's not my expertise, but just based off what I've seen, I'm like, "Dang, like, this girl's going places."
I'm doing my best, and thank you for just, I don't know, I just need, really positive people around me, and you were definitely somebody who was very positive, just upfront to me, and I really need that because as you get more, I think, in deeper and deeper into the industry, you start to notice nooks and crannies about it, right? That are just they're uncanny. And it puts a lot of stress on you. You know, there's just a lot of things, business things about it. So
Yeah.
I just need positive people, and you're very positive. So thank you.
Thank
Thank
you. No, thank
you.
you. And
And you,
I think that's like a really that's like a really difficult thing sometimes to curate your space so that you
yeah.
are surrounded by that positivity. Because everyone around you is like they're mirroring something or they're projecting something, and you are doing the same thing. Like
Mm,
but that energy it starts to feed, and it's like you can go into the nicest place, like a place that's like the cleanest and most sterile, and look in the corner, and there's some dust and there's some grime, and
yeah.
just it seems out of place, but it's actually that's just kind of part of it is navigating it. It's just it's hard to curate your space.
Yeah, girl. But it's part of life, I guess. So I'm just grateful for everything so far. So,
Yeah, well, you seem intentional about how you manage it, and I think that's what's important too. I think part of being positive is acknowledging the stuff that's not so positive and just saying this is part of it too. And
hmm
I think you do a good job of that. Every time I talk to you, it's like you're balanced. I don't think I've ever heard you say something which I feel like at this point we've had enough conversations that I can say this relatively confidently. I don't feel like you've ever just said something straight up negative. And if you've
thank
even
you.
touched on it, like, I'm exhausted or there's so much, you always say how grateful you are. Like, I've
Ah,
never heard
thank you.
you actually, every conversation you mention gratitude at least once. Um,
Thank
so that
you.
doesn't go unnoticed. That's something you are being very intentional with, and that
Mhm.
influences people. So, like, thank
I
you
love.
for that.
Oh, well, thanks for noticing it, honestly, Heaven. I think a lot of people don't really touch upon that. It's about empathy, and I know you have a lot of empathy just by speaking to you. So, no, out of all of the, I guess, podcast and, just interviews that I've had, this one, it feels very comfortable because I know that you radiate the same amount of empathy as well. So it's so important though, because I think that gratitude is so important. Just listening to each other talk and feeding back and forth. It's really important. Like I feel like I'm not trying to be someone else anymore. I feel like I know who I am. I love my circle of people that I really enjoy, and it's the people who are empathetic and they just care, you know? I love those people. That's all about.
That's part of getting out of your 20s too, is just realizing how important that is. Because
Right?
just the ability to cancel without guilt, the
Uh-huh.
ability to say, "I'm not gonna make it," and know that that friend isn't going anywhere,
Yeah.
that's huge, that's hard.
Yeah. It's so much that too. Stop. Yes. Just that I'm funny is I'm like, I'm in a new era now, but you got your right people who stay right by your side. So
Yeah. No,
yeah.
and you're doing a really good job, and your covers are wild, like, they're so beautiful.
And
Yeah, I, like, definitely feel confident in becoming a I don't know, should I just say art by sushi cover collector? Sukesha's?
and thank
Which name is, like, the
you.
brand? Like, what's the what are you being most well known as?
You know what? That's so true. I've been thinking of like changing my username from the Art by Sushi because I signed them Sukesha Ray, right? So yeah, I'll just change it. I'll switch the music one over to like Sukesha Ray. It's so hard. Now, to a point, I think that's smart because some people who like my music would not technically be a fan of my art, you know? But it started as like an art account, my main one, and then I split them both. And then the main one is the Sukesha Ray, which is the music right now. And I did art by sushi. I don't know. I have to make it more clear because a lot of my art people are following Sukesha Ray, and I'm like, this is for the music. It's purely going to be for the music, you know? I'll make story updates about my art, but it's not the page itself is music. So great question. I'm thinking of how I should restructure that though. So yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to bring up like a whole business thing for you, so I apologize. That's like bandwidth overload. Hopefully it's not. But yeah, that makes me a Sukesha Ray cover collector. But yeah, I did start to panic a little. I was like, wait, what kind of collector does that make me? Am I art by sushi? So that's a really tough thing because too, like you're trying to make sure you make time for both of these really important aspects of your life and
Mm.
creative outlets, and
Yeah.
separating them almost makes it. And on one hand, it's very organized, but on the other hand I have ADHD, so object permanence is a problem. So if I don't see it, it doesn't exist. So if I'm in one, I'm not paying attention to the other one.
I understand. I have so many people who are the same way, and I feel like me to some degree is also the same, you know? And it's I think I'll figure it out. I think the right thing will come to me in time. So I
You
will just
will. Maybe it's going to be, I don't know, your art helps launch some animated show and you get to do the music for it. Or it could be something totally different, but
ah,
your music is very good too. So that would be really cool just to see that.
that'd be cool. Thank you. Universe is crazy, so
It is. It's definitely
yeah.
chaotic. So
I
well, you're not feeling well, so I don't want to keep you for too much longer. Thanks for already going over.
Mhm.
Are there any final things, any piece of advice or words of wisdom or something you want to impart on others?
Question, Heaven, you've asked the best questions tonight. Seriously, questions sometimes people ask, and you ask, like, amazing. So,
Thank
I
you.
you're welcome. I think words of wisdom is to this is a big one. Your health is super important. I didn't realize that until I got into, like, my early 30s, and that's crazy because it's just, like, 30s, which is people are like, "Oh, you're such a baby," and I'm like, "Okay, well, I can bend down now, and I feel like my leg will be, like it'll be popped out of socket, knock on wood," you know? It's insane, like, I swear, don't push yourself too hard, like, I feel like I pushed myself way too hard. I still worked smart, but I think I could have worked smarter. This is a good one. There's no mistakes in your path. Even if you think it's a detour, it's still where you're meant to be.
It's a good one.
It is a good one.
And I
Yeah.
actually needed to hear that today. So that is a very
Yeah.
good one.
I've heard by multiple people, and some of my most successful friends told me there are no detours. So that's my favorite one. Even if and oh, this is my favorite damn one. This one I tell a lot of my friends. It's called the arrow analogy. So imagine that everyone is just in a straight line, right? And getting to a destination, and you feel like you're all the way in the back. Well, you need to picture yourself as if you're in the arrow, right? Because what does an arrow do? You pull yourself, and maybe you feel like you're behind because the arrow, it's a little bit more farther back than everybody else in the line. But when the arrow releases, right, it goes far ahead than everybody else in that line. So the arrow analogy. What is an arrow? You go all the way back, you're farther than everybody else, but when you release it, you shoot ahead. And sometimes, you know, I always think you don't have to worry about the people on the line because you're on your own road. So,
My gosh. No, that's so good.
yeah, I know it's really good. But
That's really good. That's really good because truly, like, the
yeah.
further back you are, I mean,
Yeah.
it truly
You
does feel like you've gone that much further, and maybe it's
mhm,
because of the gratitude, maybe it's because you genuinely, like, learned a different type of hustle from being that far back, but, like, that's so
mhm.
real.
Yeah. Gratitude always gets you farther in life, no matter what. It's also a key that I learned from just I know a lot of people who have like really made it in life, and I think those people have given me a lot of perspective. I think it's helped. So,
Again,
mm.
like, your positivity is so nice. It's so nice to be around, and I'm just really grateful I got to, like, spend time with you and that you shared some
Mhm.
energy and some words of wisdom. I appreciate it.
Just thanks, Evan. Always a pleasure. Honestly, just reach out anytime. Always love to come on.
Yeah, same girl. I appreciate it.
Yes,
And I
sir.
can't wait to purchase Bleep Bleep Bleep. We won't say what it is, but
No worries. Probably call you after this too, because you're great.
perfect. Okay, well, I'm gonna hit stop. See you.